Aloha Hawaii and welcome to Hawaii Sports Update once again. Thank you for joining us. If you want to chime in at any time during the show, of course, we can always be reached at ThinkTechHI on Twitter, and you can tweet us and chime in on the conversation, or if you just have a question for me or my right-hand man, Justin Baptiste, who will be joining me here today, talking a little bit of sports. And Justin, I don't know about you, man, but the Open Championship, the motherland of golf, as so to put it, in St. Andrews, of course, we know Tiger Woods has won both of his Open Championships at the old course, St. Andrews, and that's the original course, man. It's been in 144th Open Championship, and it's the 29th time that it's been played at St. Andrews, and it was crazy, man. They had all aspects of weather. They had an easy day on Thursday when the greens were soft and it wasn't playing like a typical links course, and then the rains came and sort of delayed stuff. And then they tried to replay it on Friday and then finish the second round, and then they had to postpone it because of the winds. The balls wouldn't, stay on the green because the winds were blowing too hard. So they went through all the beast of the open course, and comes out that Dustin Johnson from the United States ended up winning in a three-man playoff with Louis Oosthuizen and Mark Leishman. And the ironic thing about the Open Championship is they have a four-hole playoff format. So they go, all three players, they have to go back, and it's a combined score over 4 holes that's going to determine the winner. Just over those last 4 holes. And then if they're tied after that, then they go into sudden death, like hole 18 and so on. But just to have 3 guys in a playoff like that, and of course the big story was Jordan Spieth trying to win his 3rd major of the year. No one's done that. Not even Tiger Woods has done that in one season. Tiger had the Tiger Slam, but it was 2, and then 2. And so he ended up 1 shot short, and he sunk a 50-foot birdie putt on 16 to add to the drama. But Dustin Johnson prevailed, and did you catch any of that? And what was your take on just the crazy weather and everything that was going on?
Well, first and foremost, I just got to say I appreciate you having me on the show again.
Absolutely.
And shout out to everybody out there who's watching Think Tech Hawaii and Hawaii Sports Update. But as far as the golf is concerned, I watched some of it, and I was very impressed on how they were to adapt to the greens. I know the greens are always something that they talk about in golf.
Right,
being one of the key factors and stuff. But I was happy that it was able to go well as far as everybody playing well, and very, very competitive and very tough, especially with it being a 3-man scramble.
Absolutely. Coming down towards the end there, you had a lot of big names just 1 or 2 strokes away. And, the field was so tightly bunched that, I think they had 10 or 12 different leaders on Monday and 10 different leaders on Sunday. And, amateur was actually leading the tournament going into the final day, and it was just amazing. But the amazing thing to me is just how the greens wouldn't hold the balls when it was blowing 45 miles an hour. I'm just an okay golfer, but I couldn't imagine trying to compete and play golf in 40-mile-per-hour winds where the ball won't even sit on the green. That's just a tough task for those guys. And of course, Tiger Woods shot over par both days, but that was just a tough stake. But congratulations to Dustin Johnson. The Americans have won all 3 of the 4 majors so far, so it's looking good for the Ryder Cup coming up, and the American golfers are starting to get their sort of little swag back. Tired of losing to the Europeans over there. But It's going to be interesting coming up, the last major of the year, and to see what happens and see if Jordan Spieth can get his game back together. But he played very formidable. Now, you've been out to a couple of the Summer League basketball games?
Yes, most definitely.
All right. Just tell us what you've seen, who's out there balling for UH, and you know, what have you seen from the guys who are coming back to play basketball for UH next year?
Well, so far, what I've seen so far what I've seen so far from the UH guys is basically Aaron Valdez has stepped up big ways. He's improved. He's been able to make three-pointers. Done very well on that level. Just executing the ball a lot more. Also, Isaac Fleming has had a huge part in the summer leagues. Roderick Bobbitt has been able to adapt to summer league play because I know he didn't get a chance to play because he was hurt, but he's been able to do well and be able to be successful in that sense. But Aaron Valdez was the big story in recent talks, especially from the three-point range. And when I talked to Aaron, he mentioned about executing, playing hard, getting more involved with his teammates, and setting them up with big positions to score and whatnot.
Well, absolutely. You know, especially last year in Benji Taylor's system, Aaron Valdez was one of those guys who you really didn't have to call plays for. You know, he pretty much was a hustle guy who would get follow-up rebounds, get out on the break, you know, after one of Roderick Bobbitt's many steals, and you know, just run the floor. And sometimes it would seem like he would, you know, disappear for about 10 or 12 minutes at a time sometimes. And him and Negus really never got hot together, which I would have loved to see. But the word out there is also through Brian McInnes, the beat writer for the Star Advertiser. Yeah. He said that Aaron Valdez has really been working on his outside shot and trying to become more consistent. I think in a summer league game last week he hit like 10 three-pointers and you know, went for 43 points, and you know, his shot was okay last year. And you know, the thing about Aaron Valdez is, you know, if you listen to any of the interviews we've done with Benji Taylor, or also, you know, his improvement each year from his freshman year to a sophomore year was great, you know. And so, you know, what Benji was saying is if Aaron improves from his sophomore to his junior year just half as much as he did from his freshman to his sophomore year, this guy has nothing but upside. And it's just good to know that he's out there working on his jump shot, because that was one area that they felt that he needed work on. Mm-hmm. And of course, Isaac Fleming, you know, if he comes back healthy and on point, you know, he's just a dangerous guy altogether. He can fill up the basket at any time, and his drives to the hoops are legendary already as a freshman. And then of course, Roderick Bobbitt is probably going to be relied on as the, you know, sort of like the glue to the team, you know, the captain. And then we'll see what's up with both of the Steffens. They haven't arrived yet, have they?
The one from Missouri did.
Okay, okay, Jovanovic.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's playing.
Jovanovic is playing?
Yeah,
okay,
he's playing.
But Yankovic hasn't shown up
no,
yet?
not as of what I know so far.
Okay. What other UH guys are there?
Nico's out there as well, too. And always Derby.
Derby? Okay. Didn't they have a freshman guy who...
Yeah, Zach.
Okay, yeah.
Yolani, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've been hearing big things about him also, so, you know, it's good to know that the guys are out there, you know, getting their, you know, what the summer league is just to keep your legs in the off season. You know, I played basketball and I was involved in the summer leagues also, but, you know, it's, what the summer league basically is, you know, they can't really have too much supervision from the coaches. So, you know, that's when you know who the guys are self-starters and who aren't. The guys who are going to go in and put this work in over summer to improve their game coming up in the season. And you can always tell who worked hard in the summer and who didn't work hard in the summer. And the results usually end up on the basketball court. And, you know, so, you know, just hopefully those guys will keep working hard out there, especially you know, the guys coming back, and then maybe they'll be able to mesh with a couple of the transfers. Of course, you have Cy Tamula, who transferred in from Arizona State. He's a 6'6" guy who should help at the 3 and 4 position, according to Ron Gannett. And then, of course, his not top recruit, but his first recruit, the guard Bryce Kanda,
right,
who's also, you know, he's a point guard, shooting guard combo. And so, you know, that'll be interesting to see how he's going to mix with Roderick Bobbitt. And, you know, because Roderick Bobbitt can fill it up too, you know. And he's not only is a passer and a defender, but when it's needed upon for him to score, he can do the job. And of course, like we said, Isaac Fleming can just fill it up. So
right,
it's going to be interesting to see what kind of philosophy that you know, Coach Gannett is going to put with these guys, and what kind of game plan that they're going to have. But you know, if I was him, I would sort of cut him loose a little bit. You know, let them play the way Benji let them play,
right,
and you know, just let their athleticism take over.
Well, about Isaac Fleming, like you mentioned, he's incredible, legendary by the hoop. But you got to give him a lot of credit. I mean, especially coming from Delaware, yeah, he's really made a name for himself, especially with the way that he's been able to play basketball. I give him lots of credit. This guy was phenomenal. He played well in he played well. He's not only playing well in the summer leagues, but he's also playing well in the Diamond Head Classics when he was a freshman.
Absolutely.
This guy has lots of talent. Be sure to watch out for him, especially for next season. This guy can really make a huge impact for not only himself, but for UH and potentially in the pros. Same here goes for Roderick Bobbitt, especially with the way he's been able to play with the 101 steals, led the nation in steals. I mean, who was able to do that in, like, how long? But you got to give Roderick Bobbitt a lot of credit. He's going to be one of the key factors. And also Aaron Valdez and the Missouri transfer, Donovan?
Yeah, Yankovic.
Yeah, Yankovic, yeah. Big props to him. He's got a lot of talent.
Absolutely.
So watch out for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
UH should do very well for the years to come.
Well, you know, the sophomore class that they had last year, you know, they have the potential to have 4 guys score over 1,000 points.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, for a program like UH, who only has, I think, 15 players in the history to score over 1,000 points, you know, to have 4 guys off of one squad, the possibility of that happening, you know, just goes to let you know that they had some good basketball players in here, and have recruited some good guys. So, you know, we look forward to how they're going to mesh, and you know, with the new guys. And I think Aaron Valdez is just going to be huge, absolutely huge this year.
Exactly.
You know, if he's working on his game like the rumors are said that he is, and he becomes deadly from beyond 3-point range, all that's going to do is just open up the floor for his drives even more, because he's already a slasher slash you know, offensive rebounder slash hustle guy. Like I said, you don't really have to call plays for. So now, if he has the ability to step out and hit that 3-pointer, well, all that's going to do is draw the defenses towards him. It's just going to open up the basket for him more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. And, you know, Aaron Valdez is going to be one of the keys to this UH team. And I feel like you mentioned, if he can continue to be able to do what, as we heard about the rumors that are being said, right, he's going to be a dynamic player to watch for the next 2 years.
Absolutely. Well, if you guys want to tune in, or chime in on the conversation, just tweet us at ThinkTechHI. I'm here with my right-hand man, Justin Baptiste. We are talking a little bit of Open Championship, what a competition that golf competition was, and then talking about a little bit of UH basketball. When we come back on the other side of the commercial, we'll get into some of the NBA moves that were made in the off-season, and talk a little bit of football too on the other side of Hawaii Sports Update.
Aloha, my name is Jim Sean, and I'm host of a show called Education Movers, Shakers, and Reformers. Each week, live streaming at noon on Think Tech Hawaii, we interview people who have special insights into education, from early education through K-12, all the way through higher education and beyond. Both public and private are areas we're interested in. We dig deeper. We try to find out what it's really like to be involved in making change, advocating for it, how you reform, what people's philosophies are in reforming it. As I said, we're live streaming every Wednesday at noon on Think Tech Hawaii. And later on, you can find these interviews on YouTube and on the Hawaii Educational Policy Center website. We hope you join us as many times as possible. Aloha.
Story with my man Justin Baptiste, hitting up a little bit about UH basketball, a couple of the transfers coming in, and a couple of the guys getting in the mid-swing in the summer league, man, and making sure these guys keep their legs, you know, up to par, man, and, you know, in the off-season, and keep them working out, and look forward to big things coming off of their 22-win season last year.
Yes,
so
sir.
hopefully they'll be able to keep that ball rolling. Now, with talking to the big boys, man, everybody's posturing, everybody's trying to make their big move, man, and you know, I just want to start with my nemesis. You know, I'm a Laker fan all the way, but the Spurs, they did a couple of things that, you know, first of all, I believe the Spurs were probably the only team that could have beat Golden State last year. Okay, but they got knocked off by the Clippers, and then the Clippers ended up losing to Houston, and then Houston ended up losing to Golden State. So now coming back this year with LaMarcus Aldridge, David West, they re-signed Kawhi Leonard, and they have Tim Duncan coming back. I mean, how strong does that make them, man? I mean, you know, they just won the Las Vegas Summer League. You know, it just finished this week, and before we get into the Spurs a little bit more, congratulations to Becky Hammon, the first female basketball coach to coach in the NBA, and just to let it know that she's not a joke. She just led the Spurs Summer League to a championship, and she's definitely knows her basketball, male or female. She's definitely has a high basketball IQ, and congratulations to her and the Spurs for winning that. But go ahead and chime in on what, you know, the move that the Spurs have made, and what you think that's going to mean for them next year.
Well, first and foremost, I do want to also give a big shout out to Becky Hammon as far as being able to lead the Spurs to the NBA championship and also win. It gives big respect and big props to not only a female, but being able to do that in such pride. And yeah, much love to Becky Hammon. I mean, you never know what the league will be in the next few years, but hey, it's a good start for a woman to be able to coach a basketball team, especially in a way that she's been able to do it. And also, she's playing for a San Antonio WNBA team as well too, so that's helped out in many ways. But about what you were saying with the San Antonio Spurs, yeah, they're the most intriguing team, I would believe, next year with the way that they've been able to make moves. And they've always been a great team. I mean, they're the only team that I feel that they've kept everybody together consistently, like the Patriots have kept their players consistent, even with a few changes here and there. But they're the team that I see that they kept a lot of consistency with.
You're talking about over like the last 12 years?
Yes,
yeah,
consistency,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
But you know, with the team being so good, like they've always been, it just makes them a lot better, or much better, with LaMarcus Aldridge and David West coming in, and projected to win 66 plus games next year. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually go into the playoffs next year and potentially go into the finals.
Okay, well, you know, the number one thing that you know is, number one, with Aldridge, you have a 23 and 13 guy. Okay, nobody's averaged that in the past 3 seasons except for him. Okay, and then with the veteran and David West, you know, but Popovich is smart enough to rest his guys when, you know, during the season when they need rest. 82 games is a long season. he's sort of been criticized for that because when San Antonio only goes to the Eastern Conference cities, you know, they're only going to play one time, you know, and the Eastern Conference is only going to come to San Antonio and play one time. They have been criticized for that in the past, but Popovich really doesn't care,
right?
You know, so you know he's looking in the long-term effect on resting the right people at the right time and the right space. So now you have Tony Parker, okay, you have Ginobili back, okay, you have Aldridge West, you have Leonard and Duncan back. I mean, these guys look really, really tough, and you know, it's going to be hard for Golden State because the position that they were in, you know, that they really didn't get to pick anybody up, and they lost David Lee also. So, I mean, what position do you think Golden West is in, or do you think that they're so tight they only need like one or two people to just keep their well-oiled machine rolling?
Well, you forgot to mention about Danny Green as well. He also re-signed with the Spurs as well in the offseason too. But as far as Golden State, yes, they lost David Lee in the offseason when he got traded to the Celtics. But given the way the Golden State Warriors have been able to use their players effectively in the finals, you see they use a lot of the backups and the bench players. So I feel that the way they've been able to use the backups and use their second stringers or third stringers and being able to use those guys and become effective, and those guys haven't become effective. It just comes to say that even though they don't have a David Lee, you can use other guys involved and become a successful team. They're going to be a great team. We all know they're going to get into the playoffs next year. They're going to be a hot team to watch. But
my name is Josh.
Nevertheless,
Senator.
To me, I feel like it would help, you know, maybe build more ticket sales if they get a big player, a big name. But I feel like they've been able to do well even without a big name.
Well, I mean,
like a center or whatever. But
Steph Curry's
you got to give Steph Curry.
Steph Curry's a huge name,
and Klay Thompson.
Draymond Green.
Right, Draymond Green
Right.
with the new signing deal. But nevertheless, even if they have a big name, or more big name players, or if they keep their roster the way it is, they're still going to be a good team.
Well, you know, that's why you got to give Steve Kerr some credit, man. I mean, he did inherit Mark Jackson's team. We all know that Mark Jackson pretty much laid the foundation for that.
The Splash Brothers.
Right, and you know, Kerr came along, and what he didn't do is he didn't mess up a good situation. He actually found a way to tweak it a little bit. But, you know, putting Draymond Green at the 5, you know, in game 5 and 6, and then even pulling David Lee off the bench from nowhere, you know. I mean, David Lee is still a formidable player. So somebody outside of Golden State's system, I believe he's with the Celtics now, or
David Lee got traded to the Celtics.
Yeah, you know, he's probably going to be like a 19-9 guy, a 19-8 guy, you know. But the Golden State didn't need that, but they did need him for those couple of games, and for Steve Kerr to realize that, you know, you got to give him props. You know, he had to sit down Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut had huge games all through the playoffs, but it was just the matchups, you know, and that's what basketball is. It's a game of matchups. There's so much talent that you got to have the right guys on the floor at the right time and for the right amount of minutes. But now we switch hands now, okay, and we start talking about the Clippers again, okay, the team that knocked off San Antonio. And, you know, like I said, I believe San Antonio is the only team that probably could have beat Golden West. I wouldn't have took the Clippers against Golden West, but if the Spurs had got there, you know, I might have taken them. But they've even improved themselves with Paul Pierce, Lance Stevenson, Brandon Dawson, and of course, re-signing DeAndre Jordan. I mean, how tough are the Clippers going to be? They got Chris Paul.
Well, I'll basically put it in this perspective. You know, with Golden State, you know, now you'll be able to see the player that Steph Curry has been able to be. We all know he has the talent and the motive and such, you know, the great shooting. But we all know that Steph Curry was injured throughout most of his career. With Mark Jackson being the coach that he was with Golden State, we were able to see the development of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson with what the season that they had with Golden State. it just comes to show you that Steph Curry has really blossomed into the player that he is. This guy is, I think, is by far one of the best shooters in the game, and we are going to continue to be able to see Steph Curry develop, and he's going to be definitely in the Hall of Fame. As far as the Spurs are concerned, with LaMarcus Aldridge and David West, it's going to give Tim Duncan a lot of rest. You can be able to see a lot of other guys get involved in the game.
Absolutely.
And it's going to help the Spurs do very well. But about the Clippers, like you've mentioned, the Clippers, as we all know, they're not the LA Lakers, of course. You know, they don't have.
Of course not.
They don't have the rings. They have the good players now because, you know, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, you name it. But about the Clippers, with the re-signing of DeAndre Jordan, they're going to be put right back into the same position as they were for the past 3 seasons or 4 seasons in the playoffs. We have yet to see them advance to
Past the second round. Absolutely.
But with Paul Pierce being involved with the LA Clippers, you're going to see a veteran leadership in him that's going to help this team out, and they're going to win a lot of games. And it's going to, with him being involved, it's going to make them much a better team. And plus, he's back home in LA, so you got to give him much respect on that too.
Well,
reuniting with Doc Rivers, and yeah.
Absolutely. It just looks like the West is getting stronger and stronger. When we come back from a commercial break, we're going to talk a little bit about the Eastern Conference and some of the moves that they've made out there in the Eastern Conference. We're here with my right-hand man, Justin Baptiste, on Hawaii Sports Update. If you want to chime in, Think Tech HI is on the Twitter. Hit it up, and we'll be back on Hawaii Sports Update.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on Think Tech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on Think Tech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So why don't you join us and be inspired too? That's Center Stage on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. We'll see you Center Stage.
Aloha, my name is Josh Green. I'm a senator from the Big Island. I work in the ER there. But on Tuesday afternoons, I get to come and spend 45 minutes to an hour with Jay Fidel and the Think Tech staff. They're terrific professionals. They help us to bring some of the leading cutting-edge topics here across our state to you. So you can join us at our show on healthcare in Hawaii to talk with leaders from across all the spectrum of health in our state, or you can join us for any other show where we talk about economic development or tourism or some really eclectic programs too. So really, we'd love to see you here on our show. Thanks for joining us and thanks for supporting us.
Back to Hawaii Sports Update. That's why I got my right-hand man, Justin Baptiste, here. Just got some breaking news. Marcus Mariota has signed with the Tennessee Titans. We don't know the extent or the details of the contract, but that a contract has been signed, and he is the last first-round draft pick to sign, and Tennessee has also had sort of a history of putting a delay on signing their first-round draft picks for some reason. I have no idea why, but I'm glad that they got it hashed out, and hopefully Marcus will still be able to go body surfing and do the stuff that you know, we love to do out here on the 50th state. But congratulations to Marcus Mariota, and of course, you know, just hoping the best for you and your family, and with your work ethic, I'm sure big things ahead is nothing. I mean, only big things is ahead of you. So congratulations, Marcus, and go get him, man. All right. Now, when we left, we were talking about a little bit about the West, the Spurs, the Clippers, Sacramento. Now, does Memphis or the Pelicans even weigh in on this conversation?
Well, I'm going to tell you straight up and straightforward, watch out for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and watch out for the New Orleans Pelicans. Those teams are gonna be in the playoffs next year. They have new additions to their teams on both sides, and they're gonna be right back in there next year. Memphis is gonna be well put together. They've always been together, and they're gonna be back in the playoffs. Expect big from Tony Allen, Zebo, and Marc Gasol re-signing. That puts them in good standards. But yes, you're right, PJ.
And if Conley's healthy, of course,
Right, like you mentioned, Conley.
Yeah, Conley is probably one of the most underrated guards in the NBA. I mean, Memphis is just a whole different animal when Conley is out there and healthy. And then, of course, they also got Brandon Wright. So, he should help Memphis's cause. Mm-hmm. Now, let's go to the East, man. The Cavaliers. Well, I shouldn't say the Cavaliers. LeBron James is player, coach, CEO. I mean, you name it. So LeBron James is calling shots in Cleveland. We all know that. So they got Thompson re-signed. They got Kevin Love back. James is coming back, of course. And what do you think about the addition of Mo Williams? What does he bring to them coming back to Cleveland? And I heard some rumors about how come he left. I don't know how true that was, but we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about what Mo Williams brings to the Cleveland on the court.
Well, we also got to mention that Iman Shumpert also re-signed with the Cavaliers
too.
So
absolutely.
Big props to Iman Shumpert, founder of the Knicks tape when he was with the Knicks, but we didn't want to go there. But I just want to say, shout out to LeBron James visiting Hawaii. Wherever you're at, man, aloha.
Yeah.
Shout out to LeBron.
He's here somewhere.
He's here somewhere, doing something, snorkeling or something. But Mo Williams coming back to Cleveland, veteran leadership, gonna provide lots of minutes, gonna give a lot of guys the rest that they need to. Such a veteran leadership, he can do it all. Just like I have much respect for Jamal Crawford. That guy can do it all too. He can score. He can do anything.
Okay.
So Mo Williams is gonna be able to put a lot of defensive pressure on other teams. And
do you think that they added him to because he can play a 3 also.
Right.
But
that's the reason why they probably added him.
Right. I mean, because if you look at LeBron's workload, man, as great as an athlete as he is, and as much work as he was putting in, you can't have your star guy playing 42, 45 minutes.
That's just too
much. Over a playoff series, Well, one thing you have to realize is no matter how great you are, how great a shape you're in, eventually your body is going to break down. When you get to a certain age, that's just a fact that you can't play at such a high level. You can do it for 10 or 12 years, but at a certain point in time, it's just overexertion. And so if you look at it collectively, like I'm doing, LeBron James has been in the finals 5 years in a row. Okay, so that's 82 games plus another, anywhere from 16 to 20 games, on top of that, and that's 5 years in a row. And I think, at the end of the series last year, it just caught up to him. So, hopefully they'll bring Mo Williams in, and a couple other people. Maybe Shumpert will step up, and Thompson, will be available for some more minutes to try to rest him a little bit during the season, and just not have it be so much of a burden on him in the playoffs. Because man, 45 minutes is that'll take its toll on anybody.
Right. And then you also got Kyrie Irving as well too, and J.R. Smith. We have to see how those guys do, especially Kyrie Irving. Being one of the key factors.
Well, yeah, JR's not signed yet.
Not signed
no,
yet?
That's still up in the air.
Swish.
Yeah, so that could be a touchy situation. Now Chicago, Chicago was right there, and they're one of the teams who were more quiet. That they haven't really made too many major moves. I think they're pretty content with what they have. Of course, they got rid of Thibodeau. For what reason, I have no idea.
Right.
Reinsdorf is just famous for running off coaches, but that's we can do a whole nother program on that. But, the Bulls have in Bobby Portis, you know, and then they re-signed Butler and Aaron Brooks, you know.
And Mike Dunleavy.
Yeah. Well, he's coming back too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that they basically stayed the same.
Right.
So, I mean, do you think that's going to be good enough for them, or are they going to have to go get one more piece of the puzzle to compete?
Well, yeah, I know Chicago Bulls were going to be one of the top teams in the league last year with Paul Gasol being able to come into the team and step up from the Lakers. But, you know, Chicago, with all the talent that they've had, their main priority is Derrick Rose. And if he can stay healthy, because a lot of people have mentioned if Derrick Rose could have been able to be healthy for the season, maybe they would have been able to be in the finals. Like you've mentioned, if Derrick Rose was healthy, he could have probably gotten to the finals with over Miami. We all know that too.
Yeah.
But the main thing to focus on is that Derrick Rose has to be healthy, and their team is going to be great with him healthy, with him not healthy. But I feel like they have to get a point guard or somebody else in there to rely off the pressure of Derrick Rose, because Derrick Rose can be playing 45 minutes as well too. But the Bulls are going to be right up there. But just to be on the safe side, I would get a point guard or a shooting guard, somebody to rely off the pressure.
Is that the reason why I think they went for Portis, Bobby Portis?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we all know that Derrick Rose is their key guy. They're big prize. So they gotta rely some pressure off.
Okay. Well, you know, Jimmy Butler stepped up his role. You know, he was an average 20 points a game. He got a couple of awards for comeback player of the year and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But you know, you're right that the key is Derrick Rose. Because the thing that Chicago does is you know they're going to play good defense. Okay, but when they have those lows, when Rose isn't a super high percentage guy, like he's not a guy who's just gonna hit 5 or 6 jumpers in a row. He'll slash to the hole, you know, he'll hit a couple jumpers, but you know, he's more of a slash, penetrate, dish kind of guy, a more you know, out in the open court kind of basketball player is his strength. You know, he's not just gonna come down and do pick and rolls and kill you on jump shots all day. You know, but you know, to his credit, he's very good at it.
Right.
You know, but I think Jimmy Butler last year proved that he might be able to take some of the onus of scoring off of Derrick Rose at certain times. And of course, if Paul Gasol comes back healthy, you know, that's also going to take some of the onus of scoring. But to me, that's Chicago's only real problem. They just have too many lulls where they're not scoring. But they're always going to play defense and they're always going to be in the game. But you're right that they're going to need another guard or somebody to step up and put some points on the board.
And Jimmy Butler is one of the top guys to watch out for, especially with the way that he's been able to play and step up. But yeah, he's going to be the guy that is going to rely the pressure off of Derrick Rose, and he's their second best player.
Okay. Well, if you guys are just tuning in, we are here with my right-hand man, Justin Baptiste, on Hawaii Sports Update. ThinkTechHI is the tweet. Tweet us up. Let us know what's going on. Probably gonna have to do that next week because right now we got to get up out of here. And Justin, it's always been good to have you here and sharing your insight and all your basketball knowledge with me, man. Much mahalos for stopping in again. And you know how we do it here on Hawaii Sports Update. Who we hold.